Hi everyone, it's Owen here. I'm going to do a quick video on how to onboard a MastNode onto the MastChain network. So I'm going to assume that you have followed the instructions and you've connected the MastNode as intended. So you've connected your GNSS antenna, you've connected your Wi-Fi antenna. There is a small toggle switch that is next to the Wi-Fi antenna saying AB. To start, this needs to be in the B position. The B position is the configuration position. This is how we are going to get our network credentials onto the MastNode and how we're going to be able to access our local internet. On the front of the device, I'm expecting that you have connected your AIS antenna. Your USB power supply is connected at the front also, and the toggle switch is now in the on position. So when the MastNode is powered on, you'll have a solid red LED under the power setting. You will then get the data, the green data LED will start to flash. You may also get your blue LED over AIS. So if the AIS LED starts to flash, that is a good sign. That means that the device is already collecting AIS data. Above the GPS, you have a yellow LED. When the yellow LED is solid yellow, that means that your GPS antenna has a fix on satellites and it's working as intended. So when your data LED starts to flash in the B position, in the rear toggle switch, this means that your MastNode has now turned into a Wi-Fi hotspot. What we're going to do is we are going to go and look for our Wi-Fi networks, and we're going to look for AIS station setup. Click on this. What will happen here is automatically you'll have a window pop up, and this is your MastNode configuration window. So in here, I can see that my AIS receiver, I'm already receiving AIS messages right now. My GPS, GNSS is connected, which is great. But I can see that my internet is offline and I am not streaming any data to MastChain. So we need to change that. And we do that by going to network. In network, this is where we'll set our local network credentials. So there's nothing coming up right now, so just press scan again. And any second, there it is. So I can find my local network. Check again. Yep, that looks correct. They're both correct. I'm going to place in my password. And then save. So when the credentials are saved, I'll get some instructions. But the first thing I'm actually going to do is copy this. So this will be our local access into the MastNode itself. And this is how we'll be able to monitor what's going on and how the MastNode itself is performing outside of the MastChain environment. So the station credentials are stored. We have this correct, and now it's now asking me to slide the configuration button from B, where we are right now, into A. So A is like the normal operating mode, and I'm going to do that. And what happens here is that this window will close, and your MastNode will start to attempt to connect to your local network. So we shall do that now. Now, it may take between 2 to 5 minutes for your MastNode to connect to your local network. When the data LED turns a solid green, that's how we know that the MastNode has successfully connected to your local network and it's now connected to the internet. If the data LED continues to flash after 5 minutes, I would consider turning off the power and then after 30 seconds, you turn the power back on. And then it should basically force a connection to your local network. Now I'm going to go to the ais-station.local website in my browser, and then I can go and check the status of the MastNode. Now, if you cannot gain access to this local web page, this is most likely because the device which you are trying to access the web page on and the MastNode are on two different networks. So it might be a case that your home router has a 2.4G connection and a 5G connection. You have to ensure that your device is on the same network as the MastNode itself. So for example, my MastNode is on the 2.4G subnetwork, and my laptop is on the 2.4G subnetwork. This will give me access to the AIS station local web page, and inside I can see that we are now connected to the internet. I am receiving AIS data. My GPS is connected and it's seeing satellites, but I'm not connected to my MastChain account. So now we have to pair the MastChain to my MastChain account, and we do this in the pairing tab. I'm going to come here to generate new pairing code. So each MastNode can only be paired to one account. If you want to move your MastNode from one account to another, you will need to generate a new pairing code. And by generating a new pairing code, this invalidates the previous code. So I'm going to say yes, generate a new code. Okay, fantastic. And it's going to ask me to make sure that I am signed into my MastChain account. So make sure we go to app.mastchain.io, make sure that you are signed in. If you do not have an account yet, make sure you create an account, because this next step is critical to pairing your station correctly to your account. So I'm going to press pair this station. It's then going to open up my MastChain account. And there we go. Just like that, my MastNode is now connected to my MastChain account. And I can see this by go to station settings. And here it is here. I'm going to rename this MastNode. And then let us view station data. And as we can see, it's gone red. If we just give it another go. Yeah. Okay, so we can see that we have two green dots here in the uptime. That means that the station is live and passing data to my MastChain account. And I can see that also in the ais-station.local webpage, that my MastChain push, so my streaming from my MastNode to my MastChain account is working. So here we go. Everything is now online. This is fantastic. All green. The station health is green. It's all looking good. Now, if you would like to connect to the Onocoy account, if you have with the MastNode, you can access both MastChain and push data to Onocoy. You do this by going to the Onocoy tab. And under the Onocoy tab, we're going to go to Edit Credentials. Now, these credentials are available to you in your Onocoy account settings page. So you need to go to Onocoy and get your server's account details from there, and then input them inside the credentials. So your credentials, your mount point, and your password. Again, these all come from Onocoy. Place them in here. And then we're going to go to this button here where it says feed. I'm going to go click that on, and it's now pushing data to Onocoy. Save and restart feeder. It's just starting up, so it may take a second. Perfect. Okay, so now the mast node is connected to Onocoy and is passing the RTK data over to Onocoy. You can see here the various satellites we're picking up, and they're turning green. Yeah. So yeah, we are now working absolutely fine with Onocoy. So I'm earning now both Mast tokens and also Onocoy tokens at the same time. The next tab, which is very useful, is what we've called the health tab. This is where you can monitor any kind of like health-based activities for the MastNode station itself. What we're looking at here is to see if there's been any reboots, so whether the MastNode has crashed and then rebooted itself. The MastNode is self-syncing, so what happens here is it's always monitoring its own status, and if it notices that either it can't connect to the internet or if it's there's something happened that it's not the actual MastNode is not responding, the software will reboot itself to try and repair itself. This can all be seen inside of the health tab. So we'd see how many reboots in the last 24 hours, any sort of recent events that may have happened, whether it's crashed and recovered, whether the internet has dropped out, all stuff like that. So this page is incredibly useful to help troubleshoot any issues that you might be having with your MastNode. And if you are stuck and you're really struggling to get your MastNode back online, if you download this diagnostic, so diagnostic for support, and then you email us at support.mastchain.io, that'll go directly to our engineering team and they'll be able to help you in getting your MastNode back online. So that is the MastNode. That is how we get it onboarded onto the MastChain network. And yeah, I look forward to hearing people's feedback about this process. We've spent a lot of time trying to really refine the simplicity of the process and to make it as easy for everybody as possible. So we welcome everyone's feedback, and yeah, if you could let us know in our Discord, or if you could come and talk with us on X or in Telegram, we'd be very appreciative of that. So thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck.